Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friendship Dawn podcast. It is the week of Sunday, December 19th, 2021. I am Ivan, and with me here today is my good friend, Skylar. Yeah, that's the whole intro, right?
Yes.
Okay. I always get I should just write the intro now, because
Yes.
it gets really fuzzy, you know?
I feel, but it also feels like you're sort of going for this chaotic energy in which none of it's planned, and you think it's funny if you spring surprises on me. So it being not written down and not formatted and really just a fun joke on me, I feel like is the point. So
Maybe. I was gonna ask how the weather was, but then I was immediately like, no, I've already asked that question, and then I was gonna move on to how the temperature was. But that question's really bad.
that's a terrible question. I'm glad you scrapped that. Got a better question?
Should we move on to card of the day?
And yeah, I get sure.
Cool. Today's card is Rancid Rats. 1 and a black for a creature, zombie rat. It has Skulk and Death Touch. You know what Skulk does?
This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power.
Did you know what Skulk did before?
Yes, I did, because
Okay.
I looked up a Forgotten Creation.
Oh, Forgotten Creation?
Yeah, which is when I was looking at cards that I thought we could add to the cube.
Yeah. That is the best one, I think. Other than best one in terms of
Cards that have-
constructed playability.
Oh, yeah, that card's fucking bonkers.
Isn't it just a 4-mana 3/3 and when it attacks you Windfall?
Oh, I thought it was whenever you. No, wait, what's Windfall?
Discard your hand and draw that many cards.
Yeah, I thought you could do it at any time.
No.
At
The beginning of your upkeep. Oh wow, that's so much better.
Yeah.
Also, why does it do that? Why does it have Skulk?
Why the fuck does it have Skulk? I don't know. The flavor text though is one of all-time favorites.
My early just work escapes me. I love the double entendre there.
Yes, it's actually amazing.
Have you?
But that's not the card of the day.
Have you heard? She Will Come Back to Me.
No.
This is another really good flavor text. That's just 5 words
Oh,
or 6 words.
that's. Oh, hey, this
So-
is what?
Yeah. So, Feldon of the Third Past, 1 RR, 2 R tap. Create a token of a copy create a copy of target creature card in your graveyard. If it's an artifact in addition to its other types, it gains haste. Sacrifice at the next end step.
She will come back to me.
She will come back. Yeah. I don't know. I really like the other one's all flavor, but the flavor and the function of the card together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, back to Rancid Rats.
Unblockable Death Touch 2-mana 1/1.
I really like the duality here of that it has Skulk and Death Touch.
Yeah.
Which means that your opponent who didn't want to block with their 4/4 anyways, can only block it with their 1/1s. Can only block your Death Touch with their really tiny things. I guess it's good at getting in and staying back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really effective against 2/1s actually, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the walls. You hear them?
Can't you hear them?
Can't you hear them? That it feels like a 1984 reference.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Cards about rats.
Yeah, isn't that the rat torture?
In 1984?
Yeah,
The George Orwell book? About.
yeah.
I don't remember that part.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. Sorry. That either whiffed me or you've fabricated something.
Maybe I fabricated something. It's something that I thought I remembered, but I might be wrong.
Geez, what's there to talk about? This came out. What's this?
Shadows of Innistrad. So 4 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, maybe 5 years ago.
That's not important.
Yeah. A really big thing came out with Shadows over Innistrad. It's gonna be really funny when I tell you what it is. With the release of Shadows over Innistrad, they announced that there's gonna be another evergreen keyword. Do you know what that means?
That they'll be able to add it to any.
Yeah.
Yeah, any.
All sets use them, right?
Yeah,
like
all sets will
trample,
use them.
flying, death touch. Yeah. Can you guess what that keyword
Is it fucking Skulk?
It's Skulk.
Oh, wow. Good on them. Hey, how many cards since Shadows over Innistrad have had Skulk?
Shadows. Oh, this is a Skulker.
Oh, that's fun.
Let's see. Ooh, Eldritch Moon. Here's one in Eldritch Moon.
Still kind of the same set.
Yeah. See, this is the Audric that it does all the evergreen keywords and it has Skulk on it. Right? Like it has Menace, Reach, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance.
But new Audric doesn't?
But new Audric doesn't.
Did it end up being that the new evergreen keyword was Investigate?
No. Investigate's still only a sometimes thing.
Yeah, they don't really do Skulk.
Yeah. It has been on 3 cards since Shadows over Innistrad. And they were all in the next set, Eldritch Moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Skulk on making it into evergreen keywords.
And then immediately getting kicked off the ship.
Yep. Forgotten into history.
Forgotten like the creation.
Forgotten just like Rancid Rats.
I don't know. Probably was pretty good and limited.
I mean, it was okay and limited. 2 mana 1/1?
I mean, but so 1/1s with Death Touch are worth 2 mana.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
sure.
1/1s with Death Touch are like actually really good.
I don't know, man.
Well, like, cause it's putting your opponent in like a bad situation, right?
Yeah.
So they play like a 3/3 or like a 4/4, and that's like normally pretty big, right?
Sure.
You have like a 1/1 with Death Touch in play. Like,
Are they really gonna spend 4 mana on it? Well,
yeah. Are you gonna like attack their 4/4 into it?
probably not.
Yeah. Right? So they're kind of just,
Sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. The Skulk is like I find that very funny.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys, we're really excited to announce that Skulk is going to become an evergreen keyword. The narrator voice. They weren't that excited.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to move on to weekly work? Did you have any work stories?
Yeah, I've got one. Okay, so this one's fresh in my mind because it happened to me yesterday. You know the lady that plays Paigao, and she is a physical embodiment of a progress bar on how close you are to getting tipped.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've never dealt with this person, but I know what you're talking about.
Alright, so this human being was at Paigao table, and somebody walked up, and started playing.
Yeah.
And this is the end of the night, it's like 3 a.m., almost ready to close the table.
Yeah.
And they're talking. And it comes up that the casino is short-staffed, which is why they close so early now.
Yeah.
Period. And Progress Bar just goes into this wild, just like kickstarts immediately into this rant about, yeah, it's because everybody just wants to sit at home to make money, and we're just gonna listen to Joe Biden and oh wow, he says he created so many jobs, but he didn't really create any jobs because there's nobody who wants to enter the workforce.
Yeah. And
I was like, what? I was seconds away from going, yeah, nobody wants to work all the pit bosses want to work as dealers because they make more money. And she does not even give me a single moment to be like, yeah, this is the actual reason.
Yeah.
Just like bulldozes over with this just like 5-minute long rant about how Joe Biden is the source of all of our problems.
Yeah. I mean,
and I thought that was hilarious because I was just like, I almost got lynched.
that's pretty good.
I was seconds away from just maybe clearing the table.
Cool.
Justin didn't tip me at all, which was fun. But boy, did she let me know how close I was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'll accept any of these.
I mean, the one with 7 question marks, obviously.
Okay. So 7 question marks, so I don't remember the middle part of the story. It's so no. It's 3 small stories put together.
Oh.
But I can't remember the middle one for the life of me. And so
I
like
bet once you start telling the first and the last one, you'll remember it. Go.
Yeah. I put down the 3 words in my head and then forgot the middle one as soon as I remembered the first one. Anyways, I come to a table, right?
Yeah.
It's the $5 table where all happiness lives.
Yeah.
So
and dies. Oh wait, no, that's Spanish. Sorry.
Dealing out, the thing happens where I come to a table and then, I deal my first hand. Everyone's like, "Whoa, you're so fast!" And I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know what to do when people are like, "Wow, you're so much faster than the last dealer." So I just go like, "Yeah." Is that like, are you upset by that, or like you're gonna play more of the game? I don't know what your comment's supposed to mean.
They're complimenting you,
I guess. Anyways, I do the whole thing, everyone's like, it's up and down, table's not doing like everyone's treading water basically, except for like a dude in the corner who's like making money, right? Like, it's a normal like 4 or 5 person table. And then like I hit this thing where I hit like a blackjack and then a blackjack and then I break and then I hit like a 20. And this dude this whole time, so I hit the blackjack. He goes like, "You fucking kidding me?" And I hit the second blackjack and he's like, You can't be fucking serious. What's going on?" And like
Brain
I get
explosion.
to 20 and he's like, How in the world, what the you just never break, despite the fact, and I remember this, I literally broke a hand before. And then like it continues on like this where like it's like I make 2 hands and then I break 1, and it's just going like, I don't get, like, what the fuck? This is fucking awful. What are you doing with that? And he's like actually like furious. He's like, how you can't? What the fuck is happening? Like he actually doesn't know what's going on. And then like he's like, I can't deal with it. And then a new shoe comes up, right? And then I pull out the shoe, and then like, put it over to someone. I'm like, "Hey, would you like to cut?" And then they're like, "Yeah, sure." And they take it and then they like put it in the deck, and the dude just goes like, "Ah, fuck this," and then leaves.
I bet it's because they were being slow about it. There is a little part of me that hopes that it's because they cut it in the direct center and not thin to win.
Anyways,
like that was the
this
that
dude
broke the camel's back.
This dude leaves, right?
Yeah.
There's this dude that's been like, everyone's kind of on a losing streak, because last hands of that shoe were like pretty bad. And so he's like progressively betting more, and he's like up the greens now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just like looks over and like makes sure the guy's gone. He's like, Jesus Christ, why is he such a little bitch about it? You have to know, as soon as you put your money in the fucking betting circle, it's gone. Fucking Christ. My wife complains more than that. Incredibly misogynist. Don't say stuff like that. And I just like look at him and like Not a little bit, but I don't want to say anything because I would never want to hurt the reputation of a guest like that, especially in front of other guests.
Yes. But in your head, you were going like, yes, Mega Chad. You're almost 100% right. You shouldn't have said that fucked up thing about your wife, but everything else is spot on.
Yeah. Anyways, that dude then loses all of his green chips, all of his black chips, and his one purple chips, and then buys in again, and then loses all that money and leaves.
Well, that money didn't. It was on Monopoly money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just thought that was really funny, and he seemed like he was upset while he was losing the money. This might have been the middle story. Like he puts the greens out there, and he's like shrugging it off. He puts like more greens out there, and then he shrugs it off a little bit. He wins a couple greens bet. He's betting the side bet every time, of course, always or never.
Yes.
And then he gets to his black chips, and he puts his black chips out there, and he's like a little disgruntled, and then he loses black chips, and he's like he's seething mad, but he doesn't want to complain because of the thing he just said.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. But it's very, very clear that he is upset that he's lost money.
Yeah.
And it hasn't clicked. It probably hasn't clicked in his head yet. The two things haven't connected. But they're separate thoughts that he's having in his head, and they're almost there.
Yeah. Anyways, completely unrelated story. Dude buys in $100, slams it on the table. I pick it up. I pull out the reds. It's the $5 table, so I pull out 10 whites. And then he's like, "Can I get more whites?" Sure. How many? 20. Of course, 80 in red, 20 in whites. Ship it, send it out.
Yeah, you picked up the chips in a big, one big, you were picking up a bunch of sand, and then just dropped them in his lap over the table. And you went, "Here you go, sir. This is for you."
2 on the main, 1 on the side.
I'm buying for $100, and he's betting the tiny brain minimum
2 on the main,
so that he can win $5 on the flush, and then loses $2 hand for a total of $3, and go home and ride his bike home to his tiny house, where he'll take a 4-second shower and sleep standing up.
Why not just sleep in the shower at that point?
He's not an animal.
Anyways,
Jesus.
He does not touch a single red chip. Where I left them on the table, they're just still there by the time I leave. And he's up, man. He's got 35 in ones now.
Wow. $15.
It's fair. I just found it oh yeah, here's $100. I gave him a couple whites. Yeah. Can I get more of those white ones? Sure. Yeah. I'm just gonna play whites.
Sorry, sir. I only keep $100 on me. I will bet the absolute minimum, though. Because I'm a pussy? I don't know.
So weird. It might have been you went to the ATM machine and it just gave him $100 bill.
There's no way. I am sad to say
that's
money
right.
out of the ATM.
They take, yeah.
And they will always at least give you 120s.
It's actually funny. So he had to go in there and select, give me $100 bill.
No, he went to the cage. Asked for a $100 bill.
Hey. So I found $100 in coins on the ground outside.
Oh, this is definitely what happened. This is absolutely what happened. Here's this mountain of change. I do need a single $100 bill for this.
Need to show up a high roller by betting 2 of the maiden.
Oh my god! So, DJ ate yesterday.
Yeah.
I get to the table.
It's the. Oh no! That's across the. That's the
across from roulette.
Oh, across from roulette. Okay.
Get to the table. People are like, "Whoa."
I was thinking 10. My bad.
Whoa! What's this guy gonna do? It turns out I'm gonna fucking ruin these people. Boom! Everybody loses their bet. There's like 2 people I'm playing on my left. Just like, man, this guy's tough. I continue to just like 20, 19, like everybody lowers
16,
their bet. I bust.
Hit a 5.
Oh yeah, that's classic. A classic. 16, hit a 4, hit a 5. Just like, I'm on fire, baby. So what's the only option? Oh, to go all in. So one dude is like, all right, I have to win my money back. I'll throw up a blackjack. All right, fine. I have to win that 1 black back. 2 black. He has 20. I hit out to 21. Oh, okay. I guess I'll play my last blackjack. His buddy goes all in. 21.
The martingale betting system is proven to fail.
And not just like all in with like 4. It's like $475 in green. It's like almost table max.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's dealing out cards. Oop, there's a 10. Blackjack. Sorry. Yoink.
I had a floor told me to pay out more than table max once.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So just saying that story is kind of misleading. So what happens?
Yeah, that's clickbait for sure.
Yeah, clickbait for sure.
The vocal clickbait.
Person goes all in, which is like 2 blacks, a ton of greens, some reds, and a few whites. Obviously. I bet you know what table this was.
The quarter table?
No.
Oh, this was the $5 table?
Spanish. Where else would they have so many different color chips?
Of course. Oh my god.
I'm like,
I should have known that if any suffering was involved, it was in Spanish.
Table max, and then the floor comes over because it's table max, right? And then I come out and then I like hit out to like 25 or whatever. And I'm like, cool, great. And then I take the massive behemoth bet, right?
Yep.
I've splashed the 2 blacks, splashed like 125 in green, and then splashed like 85 in red, and then like 7 in white. And then I take out like 2 blacks, give them 2 blacks, take out, or I think I paid like 400 in black, and then like a couple in green, and then and then I go and I pay out 75 in red, right?
Yeah.
Or no. I put the 3 green chips next to the 3 rows of red chips, and then the floor is like, yeah, those ones too. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. You gonna pay them out all the way? It was over table max. And the floor was like, oh yeah, good catch. Didn't get a ticket.
Nice.
Have you caught anything on the cards?
What?
Have you caught anything on the cards?
What do you mean caught anything? Cards?
On the, like, when you're looking through the blackjack decks? Oh, I found something on one of the back of the cards.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's buck wild.
You care? Like, someone just dropped, like, ink, like, a drop of ink on the back of one.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Huh.
Didn't get tickets for that either.
Wait, like you noticed it?
Yeah, I noticed
changing cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get. I'm sorry. Tickets are a reward system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think only.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. Also gives tickets because she's the one who gave me tickets. Damn it! For paying out, or for dealing UTH the way it was meant to be dealt.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like you thought of a person's name.
Yes.
And immediately.
Well, because this is just a conversation between
yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I apologize. Train of thought. Where was it going? Oh yeah. Also on that table where I just ruined those two dudes who just threw away all their money.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the closest I had ever gotten to being like, I'm not gonna deal to you anymore. Go away.
Really?
Yeah. So I was dealing, and then it was two people left.
Yeah.
And this one person would just like hold their chips in their hand and fiddle with them, and they're looking down at their chips, and I didn't even see their mouth move. So I'm just like, oh, okay, he must be wanting to sit out this hand because it's been bad. It's been so bad.
Mm-hmm.
The table's been horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I just start dealing, and deal to him. He's, we get the hand over with, and then sweep the table once.
Yeah. Sweep it back.
Dude's still fiddling with his chips. All right, guess I'll deal with this gentleman who's ready to play. The hands over. Still, like, no chips on the betting circle whatsoever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One full sweep back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go on to the next one. And then he's like, I really fucking wish that when I asked for you to fucking slow down and wait, that you would actually fucking wait. And I was just like,
what?
Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry. I thought I was waiting. And then, I felt the presence of my floor over my shoulder. His attitude immediately changed. And I was like, that's the one chance he gets.
Yeah.
Like, if the floor doesn't tell him to leave and he fixes his attitude, it was just saltiness. We've been there. We've all been there. I was there earlier playing against. He's got a jank ass spike up. Dang it! Oh my god. You got I was playing against one of my coworkers in Smash. They got a janky spike. I was salty.
Yeah.
We've all been salty. And we played a few more hands, up and down, left the table, everything was fine.
Cool.
And I was like, I definitely should have told that person to just leave the table and never come.
See, what I just do is I just go like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. It's my bad. And then they'll normally just shrug it off. Stop caring.
Yeah.
Or if they don't, then if there's anybody else at the table, they lose so much I'm a real human being points.
That's a good way of putting that.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I didn't know what was going on. I thought you just wanted to sit out of hands. And then, and then they go well, you fucking heard me. It's like...
Wow.
Okay, dude, content,
Wow. You just immediately put them at the end of a social gun. And they're like, do you want to pull the trigger? Because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And most people are like, no, you can put it away. It's fine. But there are some people who are like, give me that thing. Pow. I hate you and everything you stand for, and I'm an idiot. And I want everyone around me to know.
Anyways, would you like to move on to my next story?
Yeah.
Of course, curated from the list.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I thought you already did Power Out.
I might have, yeah. I'll delete that one.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while.
I'll buy you a beer.
So I come to the $5 table, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 p.m., so, 4 people on it.
Oh, yeah.
3 people on it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No one's there.
Dealing out. Come to the table, same thing happens. Whoa, this one's way faster. Ah. Girl on the far end of the table says, slow down. I want to enjoy the game. We want you to go slow so we can actually enjoy a little bit of the game. They $25 on every hand,
Mm.
Anyways, obviously, they run out of money pretty quick. Down to like $10. They get a pair of aces. She then starts pulling the table. Oh wait, she has $20 out there on two aces. Starts pulling the table. She's like, "Hey, you want to split these with me? Like, I need some. Let me."
Oh no!
I did not want to like be there for if they won the hand. I did not want at like any of this fallout. She's like, "Hey, you, honey, can I have $20 to split?" Because they got like almost 100 in chips on the table. And then they're like, "I can only give you this 15. Ask him for the other 5." Like, point to their friend, and their friend's like, "Okay, here's the other 5." And then they like, you know, split the aces. I hit out to 21, so it doesn't matter.
Oh hell yeah!
Perfect, beautiful. They just kind of sit at the table for a minute, not doing anything. I'm in this weird position where I've never asked someone to leave the table before, and I don't want to be like, "Hey, if you're not playing, you can't just like sit there," because you know, somebody around here.
Yeah. It's technically against policy, but
It's technically against policy.
it's not like people are.
There's
like,
not like a line for this table though. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
It's fucking like 3 p.m. on a fucking Friday,
Yeah.
right? And then
Did she lose both of her hands?
she lost both of them. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So we actually don't have to worry about the money.
we don't have to worry about anything at all.
Sick. Aside from her and her presence at the table.
Yeah, and then you know, kind of evolves a little bit. He like gets up and starts talking to the guy at the other end of the table about stuff. Don't remember exactly what was happening, but it's like blah blah blah. I'm gonna go play slots. I'm gonna go XYZ. You know,
Small talk.
yeah, saying like very small talk stuff. And she's like, "I'll go buy you a beer." To the dude. And the dude's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Good luck with that." And they go. They're like, "Oh, what beer do you want? XYZ, you know." And they like walk away. Come back like 4 or 5 minutes later. They're like, "I don't have enough money to buy you a beer. Can you give me like $3? Because then I'll be at the 5 I need to go buy you a beer." And then, you know,
Physically recoiling.
The player is like, "No, it's fine. I don't need a beer. I'm good." Will
Very
not
politely.
Very politely. Will not let up. "No, I'm gonna go buy you a beer. Give me $5. I'm going to go buy you a beer. Give me $5, please. I need these $5 to go buy you a beer." They pull out like $2 bills and they're like, "Here, like I just need the $3." And they're like, "I don't have any change. I don't have anything." Like, they're like, "Give me the chip. Give me one of your chips right there. I can see you." Like, they're like, "No, it's fine. It's okay. I don't have anything. Like, I don't need a beer." And you know,
Yeah, very politely telling them that they can't steal $5 from them.
yeah. And then like they throw the $2 on the table and then get like visibly upset and then pick up their $2 again and like leave. You know.
Yeah.
Floor comes over and is like, "If you're not careful, you might end up spending the night with them." Ooh. Hearty laughter ensues, and then they're like, "Also, if it's like they're begging for money, we can call security and get them kicked out."
Actually incredible social skills. Diffuse the situation. Apply solution for next time.
Yeah. It was really well handled.
Yeah.
Also,
Other than
I'm gonna
him
go
actually getting harassed.
Yeah. Also, I'm actually gonna buy you a beer. It was like really funny in the moment. Like, "I'm gonna go buy you a beer." Walks away for like less than 5 minutes. "I don't have any money. Give me money." Oh, also something really funny. The guy at one point was like, "Oh, I don't have any money, but maybe he does," and then points to his friend.
wow,
like over next to a slot machine.
Picks his friend up by the seat of his pants and the collar of his shirt and throws him directly under a moving bus.
Yeah. Really funny thing, friend says the same thing back there and points at it.
Oh, wow, incredible. Wow, what a good pair of human beings. Oh, man, this problem, my friend can deal with this problem. Oh, man, you got a problem? Yeah, man, I'm just going to shove this problem off of my friend.
Absolutely perfect. I love it.
Yep.
Do you want to hear another story? Or do you have any more stories?
I don't know, dude. My only story right now is about just terrible Spanish.
Oh.
Terrible is in, like, I dealt terrible, and also terrible is in, like, the people are terrible. And also terrible is in the payouts are terrible.
I mean, yeah, that's just Spanish, you know.
I know, but it was so, and I was just like, whatever, man. Whatever these people say, just ship it. I don't care. And then I was just like, never. Guys, be quiet. I'm just let me do it.
Yeah.
And of course they were wrong.
Every time.
It's so upsetting.
Bam.
Let's do color this up for me. Put this in my pocket.
Okay, so this is a general thing I have.
Mm-hmm. Pet peeve, so to speak.
Yeah. Person has like $100 in red in front of them. They buy in for $100. They have $100 in red in front of them. They get something along the lines of, you know, suited match, which is something I can theoretically pay out with the black chip. And, you know, they have enough chips. I give them the black chip. I'm not going to give them another 100 in reds if they have 200 or 300 in front of them, right? I give them the black chip. And they're like, this is going straight in my pocket. They put it in their pocket. 15 more minutes of playing the game ensues. They are out of money. They open up take the thing out of their pocket. Put it on the table. Hey, can you break this down for me?
Mm-hmm. As if they had just found it. Like it had materialized in their pocket. And they were like, oh, that's right. I have this $100 I can spend. When their brain just told them that they can't spend that $100.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's still like, why are you lying out loud to the table and to your, like, it obviously doesn't convince you, so I don't know what.
They're not lying at the time. At the time, they believe that they're going to take this chip home with them.
Yeah.
Or not even home with them, probably like to the counter, change it for $100.
Yeah.
But that's not how, like, gambling works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you run out of money and then you're like, oh, I want to keep playing, so I'm going to continue playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. But the thing that actually annoys me is when they have like $200 in chips in front of them.
Sure.
And they started with 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take the $100 in chips, push it out there and go, color this up for me. I'm coloring up black, so I gotta get it approved both in and out, right?
Yes.
And then I push out the black, and then like 15 minutes later, break this up for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Why'd you have me fucking color this up? What's the fucking point if you're not gonna leave with it? Black in.
Yep.
It's just... it's the most aggravating thing in the world. Because the people who do that, do it like whenever they're up, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're up by like maybe like $50, which is basically nothing. If they're playing fives, right?
Absolutely.
And they're like, give me a black. And then, you know, of course, very obviously, they're going to go back down and like maybe they're not going to continuously infinitely win, right? Like,
yes.
And then they go back down and they're like, okay, color this now. And they're just treading water. They're oscillating between like $100, like $100, like $200, $50, and they're going up and down like a sine wave. But anytime they hit that 150, they're immediately like, okay, taking this home with me, give me a black. And then, you know, they go back down on the sine wave and they're like, okay, give me 100 in red. and it's like, what's your plan? What do you like? Why are you making me do all of this legwork for like, not like, for literally your own like mental fortitude, I guess. Like, fuck you. These are the only people that I actually want to go like, no, no, you're gonna play it. Just keep it, dude. Like what's even the point? Or like they hand me the black chip and I'm like, yeah, break this down for me, and I'm like, I just colored that up for you. It was like 4 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
4 minutes ago, you got that black chip. You're gonna break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So you had me take those 100 chips, count them all out,
yep,
and then break it down, and then
yes.
I was gonna, give you a black chip so that you could hand me the black chip back, so I could take out another 100 chips, count them all out, and then push them back to you.
That is correct.
So what are you trying to like launder money? This isn't how you do it.
No, I'm going to win my money back. And then when I do win my money back, I'm going to protect it by coloring it up and putting it in my pocket. And then when I run out of money, I'll win my money back. You have a problem with this? I don't see the problem.
That is why I just much more prefer the, oh fuck, I'm down to my black chip, time to bet it. I always love that one. It is so funny because they always win that hand, of course.
Oh, I can't even say without fail because I just told the story how that absolutely screwed over some guests. Like, actually ruined their whole night. They were up like hundreds of dollars, ready to leave, played a couple more hands, and then we're just like, I mean, they were so tilted off the face of the planet that they just bet all their money and lost.
Yeah.
But it feels like every time they're like, go all in, you're like, time to close this tie. Busted. What? I had a face. I had a face into 12. Into another. But this is Spanish. How? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That happened to me on that horrible Spanish table I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
All suffering originates from that table.
All suffering in the world?
All suffering in the casino.
Oh, in the casino.
Originates from that table.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I don't know. Thank you all for listening. We're going to take a break real quick. Go ahead and enjoy the ad. The ad is very wonderful. Hello, everyone. Taking a break from the podcast to tell you all to subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/IvanTT. That's IVANTT. It's how you help support the podcast, how we get all of our stuff together, and you get a sick bonus in that all Patreons with the tier 2 or higher get a shout out. So quick shout out to Thunderbird145, who is our current tier 2 patron. Thank you, everyone, and back to the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Friendship Dawn podcast. We're moving on to our anime attack, and this week we've got a really good one.
Yeah.
We've got
Imagine
Arcane.
Dragons, the anime.
Arcane. Is all the League of Legends stuff just Imagine Dragons, the blank? Like, League of Legends is Imagine Dragons, the game.
MOBA?
The MOBA, yeah.
And Legends of Runeterra is Imagine Dragons, the card game?
Yeah.
No, that's stupid.
But it is Imagine Dragons, the anime?
Yes, because they play a bunch of... The joke is that they have a bunch of Imagine Dragons song on the show.
Do you know Imagine Dragons makes a song for the League of Legends World Championships every year?
Excuse me? What?
Imagine Dragons makes a song for the League of Legends World Championship every year.
They are the only one that gets that honor, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That is Buck Wild.
Championships.
Does League of Legends own Imagine Dragons?
I don't know. Legends Never Die. That's Imagine Dragons. I know Rise is Imagine Dragons. I know this one is Imagine Dragons.
Oh, the one labeled 2017 World Championship theme?
Yep.
Sick. Okay.
Warriors by Imagine Dragons. This one by Nikki Taylor by Zed.
See, this is what happens when you make a joke and don't know the full context of the thing you're making a joke about.
They made a lot less than I thought they did.
Oh, get fucked. Anyways, yeah, Arcane's really good. Turns out everybody that was like, oh yeah, it's the best show on Netflix, is like, right?
Yeah. It's politics, intrigue, and punching.
Yeah, and like a really good like drama and also a really good action anime that all looks amazing. Like it's animated beautifully with a unique art style that I love. I guess not a unique.
Yeah. What do you think of all the characters?
Oh, they're all good.
They're all good?
I don't think there's a single one I was like, I don't like this character.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's already like a setting that I love, right? Yeah. Like the first episode is just a Blades in the Dark score. Like actually. And like it's got like a it's got such a Dishonored feel to it, or maybe Dishonored has a such arcane feel to it. Like
yeah.
All the characters are super interesting. Like the show's written really well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Like yeah, they're all great.
Yeah.
I even remember some of their names.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, Silco.
Silco? Why is Silco your favorite?
Just so in the event that this is, I don't know, somehow your first episode, we're just gonna like spoil everything. So like if you haven't watched Arcane already, I would suggest finding a house that isn't under a rock. Silco's my favorite because of his relationship with Jinx, and I think that like relationship is written amazingly and is super interesting, and they like his death rattle is, I would have never betrayed you, we're family, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, as the antagonist of the story.
Yeah.
Especially like the first 3 episodes is the actual antagonist, and then is kind of like a main support cast in the rest of the anime. It's just I don't know, like
incredibly complex.
Oh yeah, like he like his like emotional trauma bonds so hard to this young girl who he finds in a bonkersly similarly like state, and he's projecting and also like emotionally attached to this other person, which he sort of gave off a vibe that he wasn't capable of this. Like the first 3 episodes are like, this dude is a cold, calculated, unfeeling machine that is hell-bent on this little
vengeance.
Girl needs me, and I need something to like deal with my trauma. I think that's so cool. And like there's never a moment on screen, like recently with a lot of, I guess that's never true, there is a singular moment during pretty much the entire show where I'm just like, I could probably skip like the next like 15 seconds of this and be fine.
What scene is that?
It's like Caitlyn showering.
Oh.
And even that is like, she's like thinking about her relationship with Vi. And then Jinx is there. Whoa, that's foreshadowy. And it is. And the show like takes itself like just as seriously as it needs to. It is capable of like relieving tension expertly with like moments of levity, which is like perfect.
Yeah.
Like the whole scene where she's like, "Oh, do I have Caitlin's head on this silver platter? Like actual silver platter? Oh, do I? Do I? No, that's insane. I'm not that far gone."
Yeah. What do you think of the main character, Jinx?
Oh, she's great.
Okay.
I love the Joker energy she brings, and I think that it's written like really well. Her also like her mental trauma is portrayed in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
Without it being like, I don't know.
I really like how when we're seeing things from her perspective,
Yeah.
the things that we see of her like delusions is that there's like a ghost of Milo like literally following her around and like whispering things into her ear.
Yeah.
Because it like shows it shows in a really expert way that like because you don't get the same thing for like Clagger at all, because Clagger was more like reserved and not as combative, right? Whereas
not
like
as much of an influence.
Yeah, Milo kept telling like Jinx that she wasn't enough and that she ruins every job, and
yeah, Milo is like the physical representation of her inferiority complex.
Yeah.
That is then like fused to her personality when she gets all of her friends killed.
Yeah. Yeah, when she kills Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And like I guess the show also does like a really good job of providing fan service without it being like completely, I don't know, without somebody who's never played a single game of who's played like maybe 3 games of League of Legends and like knows actually nothing about any of the lore to be completely bored.
Yeah.
Right? Like there were some parts where a friend who watches the show was like, "Oh man, there were a couple tidbits of lore, like, oh, there was this like okay, so these are 2 gods of life and death, and they're like a lamb, and then when they were in the brothel, there were 2 characters that had the exact same," and I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Yeah.
But in a not like, "Oh, that's really cool lore." I think it's more cool that the show was able to represent and like cater to a section of their audience without like taking away from that scene at all.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what he was talking about, but I still love that scene in the brothel.
Yeah.
Like that scene rules. Like many scenes in our game.
I mean, like, I don't know. Almost all the scenes are like really powerful. I think that like the big thing is like when we weren't paying a lot of attention at the beginning, there were a few things that we like missed. Like I know you missed the thing with Savika, where she told Vander, where she told Vander, "If you're not going to do anything, I will," and then went to Silco, right? Like, also the scene where it looks like she's gonna betray Silco, is fucking perfect.
Oh my, it's actually perfect. Like her deciding right then where her loyalties lie, it being up in the air. You've got this fucking dude with an actual gold like chin, just like ming 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 man. I'm a big incompetent fool. And Silco being like, "I reward loyalty." 5 seconds later, holy shit, I can't believe that worked, and I'm still alive.
Well, it wasn't like I reward loyalty though. It was like because he was explaining to the dude, because the dude was like relatively young, right? Like our main characters are like maybe 20-ish.
Yeah.
And that dude looked like he was about the same age as them, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "You don't remember a time when we had to struggle, and the only thing that mattered to us was like loyalty."
Yes.
Right? And he's like, he's pretending like he's talking to the dude, but he's actually talking to Savika, right? Yes. Yeah. And it's like, and he's saying like, don't you remember when loyalty was the thing that mattered? And then like when he breathes, it's like, oh, but like because he knows that loyalty isn't her main prerogative, right?
Yeah, he is completely aware, and also says it preceding that sentence that like she's done this before.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, all right, like I saw this a little coming.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I also really liked I Would Kill Your Son, but it seems we're already ahead on that front.
That was that seemed a little contrived. The fact that her son was just at the factory.
The dude working at the factory?
Yeah, her kid worked, like, doing something at the factory, and then Jace cocking his hammer and killing the kid is just
Oops, I killed an innocent civilian.
Oh my god.
The kid who raised the alarm and sent all the brutes at us.
Yeah. Oh man. All the action scenes are just so satisfying. Like when they're using the fucking I want to say the Atlas weapons.
Yeah, the Atlas hammer and the Atlas gauntlets.
Oh, why are they Atlas weapons?
I don't know if the hammer is actually called an Atlas hammer. Might be a Talos hammer.
Yeah.
They're called Atlas gauntlets because Atlas is the man who holds the world in place.
Sure, but that's like human lore. Never mind, it doesn't matter.
They're humans.
Okay, sorry. It's like
Earth lore?
Yeah, it's like Earth lore. Also, I don't know if they're like actual human. Like, some of the shit that Vi does is completely buck wild.
What do you mean?
She's just like actually like a parkour master.
Yeah, aren't you?
From like age 12 and on.
Yeah, doesn't everybody know how to jump from building to building in the middle of the night?
Exceptionally funny when she just completely ungracefully, but definitely like as somebody who doesn't do any sort of parkour, doesn't know how to like actually fall without hurting yourself, looked hilarious. That scene was so funny where she was just like bank bonk clank clank bonk boom thud on the ground, should be absolutely dead beyond all reason, and it's like, I think I got a couple bruises.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Also, one of my favorite parts is also like she jumps down to start doing parkour into the Undercity, and she's just like, "Oh, you coming?" to Caitlyn, and then like forces like Caitlin's like, "I fucking guess," and then like Caitlin's like really bad at it.
It's so good.
It's very funny.
Also, like the Caitlyn Vi relationship is so good.
It's very well done.
Yeah, very well explored.
Which is funny because it seemed like there was a Jace Caitlyn relationship at first.
Yeah, it's what I thought, but I think that was more just like friends.
Yeah, we're good friends.
Yeah,
and we do know there is a Jace Mel thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. Or else that sex scene was very weird.
Weird. I mean, he was thinking about Victor the whole time, so. Oh, man.
Also, the hex core is, I don't know. I don't get the hex core.
It's just, oh my god, like, it's actually just, like, a MacGuffin. It's just a magical thing that, it turns out is evil! Because, like, they can't actually just, like, become technological gods.
Yeah, that's fair. I also really like after Heimerdinger is no longer a counselor, he just, like, walks around the Undercity.
What else is he gonna do?
I know! I'm saying I like it.
Yeah, I know. And, like, he just finds Echo random, like the wildest coincidence that ever happened is Echo being like, "Aren't you Counselor Heimerdinger?" And he's basically just like, "Yeah, but with like less power."
Yeah. Also, I really like the thing where like Heimerdinger's like, "Oh, these blades are too close together," and then he's like, "No, it only flies in the fissure."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good touch.
What you think is a defect is actually intentional because of where I grew up.
Yeah. I really, there's so many good things too about like.
And there's so little bad things.
The relationship between the Undercity and like Piltover, right?
Yeah.
So like the people who grow up in the Undercity have like an understanding of like Piltover in the Undercity, whereas the people who grow up in Piltover don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good, and it's like portrayed really well. Where like Marcus understands the Undercity because he has to go back and forth there.
Yeah.
Right. But Jace doesn't, and so like Jace is like scared of the Undercity, and then he tells that to Victor, and then Victor's like, I'm from the Undercity, and like it just never occurs to Jace that
yeah, because Victor's like a normal
a normal person,
a quote unquote normal person.
Yeah, he's not a legend in the league.
Well, actually, apparently he becomes Thanos and is complete with erasing people to dust.
Wait, what?
Sky.
Wait, Sky told you that?
No. Sky, the character in Arcane who gets dusted.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
And I figured he became all purple.
Oh.
Because his hand was purple and his leg was purple, and I was like, why stop there?
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And the Arcane thing is purple and his blood's purple. I figured he was just going to go for the whole hog.
Yeah, full purple. That'd be sick. Then he'd be like from the Void or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Whatever that means.
Yeah. Anyways, any last thoughts on Arcane?
It's just weird to be on the side that's like... I feel like I'm the person who's like, you should go play Undertale. Like, after Undertale's been out for like a month. Like you need to play, you need to partake in this media source. And I'm so used to being the person who's like, no, I don't. I'll participate it when I'm good and ready. And then when I'm good and ready, I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I can see why people thought this was amazing. It's because they were all right.
Yeah.
But you should go watch Arcane. Like, actually, it's actually insane. Unless you don't like cartoons, and that's probably the only reason you shouldn't like Arcane. Like, if you don't like fantasy, hard stop. Or you don't like cartoons, hard stop.
Yeah.
For actually everyone else, it's got something for you.
Nice. Moving on to the game Gander.
Yeah.
Tell us about a game you've been playing recently, Skylar.
Sure. You want me to talk to you about Loop Odyssey, Yakuza, or Subnautica Below Zero?
Whichever you want to talk about the most.
Okay. I'll run through Loop Odyssey pretty quick. It's like an idle game, but you use a very basic coding system to plan out your movements on a two-dimensional map.
Map of a city, right?
No, so it's cool. It there is a city, but there's you start out in like this forest area, and there are other places to go and explore.
Oh wow!
Right. So once you build up the ability to leave your surroundings, like the edges of the map flow over into other parts of the map. And it takes the game is about optimizing but also it's about exploration, because the map when you first boot up the game is completely dark except for your square and the surrounding tiles.
Yeah.
And so you have to sometimes you just have to give up a route that's taking you 7 minutes to execute, because you want to go explore this area.
Yeah.
Right? And you need to clear away some of the maps. And there are ways to get around this. There are scout towers that consume time, but in return give you map vision.
Yeah.
So you can better plan out your routes. And then there's 3 stats. It's like the game itself, the non-idle game of it is a pretty basic RPG.
Huh.
And you're trying to get out of this loop that you're in.
Yeah.
Right. So you like the gameplay loop is you plan out a route to optimize what you want to do and get as many like permanent upgrades as possible.
Yeah.
And then when you feel ready, you explore. And you can sort of like chain your plan through like little spots that'll give you extra time.
Yeah.
And then there are eventually NPCs that you can talk to, interact with. So there are 7 different ways you can plan out a route. You can go up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
And then you can interact, talk, fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you earn enough experience and you've planned out a route, you can go to an you can plan your route through an altar and spend experience that you've gotten to increase the amount of time you get, the speed at which the game takes place, or your RPG attack and health.
Yeah.
Basically every NPC that you talk to, the more that you talk to them, you unlock permanent upgrades.
Ooh.
Right?
Nice.
So when you talk to the old man, you'll get the ability to increase the amount that mana potions give you.
Oh.
Which is like once you dip below 10% mana, it gives you more mana. Mana is like your time resource.
Yeah.
Talking to the fisherman will, give you
give you more fish.
Sure. I mean, it makes about as much sense as literally anything else I could. The truth is that he gives you an ability that allows you to eat the things that give you more time, which instead give you health. Which is like, I don't know, kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Anyways, the game's super interesting. I've sunk, it tells me I've sunk like 140 hours. That's because I'm a madman who leaves my really poorly built computer just running.
Nice. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have been more interested in this game if I was doing menial tasks like going to the grocery store over and over again. Because I just would find that flavor of like the loop idle game a lot more like fun. For no good reason.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, just because I think I don't know. I think that game is funnier maybe, and also like. It's more interesting of like, oh, you do the same stuff every day, so why don't you do the same stuff every day twice, but once it's in a game?
So you find that conceptually more entertaining than the concept of Loop Odyssey.
Yeah.
Also, it's really funny. Every review for Loop Odyssey mentions Loop Hero and how it's not Loop Hero.
That's actually
a game
very
you probably have never heard about that was really good for a month.
It was really good for like the week it came out.
The point of the joke is that it's forgettable, and what you said was adding on to that joke, so I'll allow it. Which is honestly too bad because that game rips. Is that the end? What were
no.
you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. You want me to continue talk? Like how much time?
So
do I need
I've
to
been
use up?
playing Legends of Runeterra.
Oh sure.
Also 4 stages in on the decathlon.
Ooh.
So far, I'm like even on gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's like 3 wins. Sorry, that's 2 wins to every like 3 attempts, and I get the constructed ones in one go. So, ups and downs.
I have been playing Cube Draft for 6 months. I just won my first Cube Draft. So
that's not true. You just won your first Cube Drafts in the last year. You've won Cube Drafts in the past. Yeah.
I guess
like mono red.
I did win that one. Yeah. Cool. Total 2 wins.
Two trophies. 2 trophies.
2 trophies out of a possible like 100.
Hey.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
That's.
Anyways, Legends of Runeterra. How is it different than Magic the Gathering?
Okay. So it does the Hearthstone thing where you just get a mana crystal every turn? Or, sorry, it does the energy thing from...
Inscription.
From Inscription.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
Where you get a mana crystal every turn.
You mean an energy every turn?
Yeah, you get a mana crystal every turn. Anyways, so but if you don't use mana, if you have an overflow meter for only spells, can't play minions or like creatures with them.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. With
Yeah. I don't know what they're actually called. Units, maybe? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Something else generic for like a living being that can't be prescribed as like a magical spell that one would cast.
Yeah.
From like a wizard spell book.
Exactly. So this is a ton of fun. Because it does like interesting stuff where like you max out at 10 crystals, right?
Sure.
But there's a spell that costs 12 mana. Right? That's cool. But the real cool thing about the game is that you have champion cards, which are like just creatures.
Yeah. I was gonna say Hearthstone hero.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Everybody starts at 20 and they have the same life or whatever. But you have like I guess I haven't really explained the full concept of the game. So you pass back and forth in actions that you can do. So on the first turn, you can play a 1 mana spell, and then it goes to your opponent, and then they can play a 1 mana spell.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can attack as an action, but only one person gets to attack per round.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you're the first player, you get an attack on turn 1. But if you play a unit, your opponent has a chance to play a unit or a spell, and then it goes back to you, and then you have to attack. And then you get to attack. Right? So it's like...
Is it MTG where you just attack generically, and then your opponent decides whether...
Yes.
Okay.
But you can't like double block. So like each unit has like a space in front of it that you can like attack into. Yeah. And then there's like abilities like Challenger where you like yoink a opponent's minion and like put it in front of yours and stuff like that.
Oh, like forcibly have a creature block your...
Yeah. And no other creatures can block it because
that our creature is already blocking it.
Yeah. It's really cool. Anyways, the cool thing about the game is the champions, which are creatures. They normally cost like 4 or 5 mana. I think I've seen a couple that cost 3, and like there's a bunch that cost like 6, 7, or 8, right?
Okay.
And they have effects on them that level them up. So a character Jinx, levels up when you have no cards in your hand. And what happens when a character levels up? Well, Jinx is a like 4 mana 4/3 with first strike. But if there's no cards in your hand, Jinx is a 4 mana 5/5 with first strike. And once you level up, you never go back down again. You just stay at the upgraded stats. And she also, when she levels up, she puts a spell in your hand that says that's a 2 mana spell, and it says all of your spells cost 2 less to cast. And she also gains at the start of your turn draw an initial card. And she also gains the ability the first time you empty your hand on any of your turns, put a 1 mana spell into your hand that deals 4 damage to any target.
So she's the best card in the game.
When she levels up, right? But the thing is like the cost of leveling up, and there's like a bunch of cool things you can do like this. I think Bai is like strike 5 times, but I don't know what she does. I haven't played with her very much, right? So I don't know what happens when she levels up. There's one called Trinomir, which is like an 8 mana like 8/1, with like some with trample, and can't be blocked except by things with power 3 or more. And then his level up is that he dies. And then he turns into an 8/8 with prevent 1 damage from any sorcery to be dealt to him, and trample and can't be blocked by things with 3 or more power, except by things with 3 or more power. So that's cool as fuck. And it's just like the level up is really cool because like they play a little animation when things level up, and the level up cards are like actually insane if you pull them off.
Yeah.
And
what's the like? What restricts you from making a deck? Right, like in Magic, it's colors. In Hearthstone, it's classes.
So it's the location. I haven't built any of my own decks yet. I'm just using like precons and stuff. But from what I've heard, it's the location in which you pick to play. So you can choose up to 2 locations, and those locations are Piltover and Zon is one of them. I don't know the names of the other ones, but there's like an ice world too. Oh, and there's also like the void. And what you do is you pick 2 of the like 7-ish locations, I think. And you can play only cards of those colors, basically.
Okay.
And you can only play a total of 3 champion cards from that location.
Okay.
So I can play 2 Jinx and a Vi, or I can play like 1 Jinx, 1 Vi, 1 Jace. But I'm probably just gonna play 3 Jinx if I'm gonna play any Jinx, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna play any Jinx.
Yeah. And I think you have a max of 3 card of any card in your deck.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, your decks are all 2 colors. And your colors have the functionality of determining your champions, right? Your cool level up cards. And that's as far as I've gotten. I'm still like in the tutorial zone where I am playing tutorials I don't need to play because I like checking boxes and winning, I guess. I don't know. Puzzle solving is fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, sometimes your chess opponent just stops playing pieces.
That was so absolutely insane that you were like, here's the hardest version of this. Oops, the game broke? Guess I'll win. After all of that grinding on that stupid other, like, last boss of Karazhan, just, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might have known what happened. I think I pushed my board out far enough that he couldn't play enough things to get himself out of check. He was just taking no action.
You're saying you checkmated him?
Yes.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, and I think this is
Boy,
really funny if it's true.
If it's true, that's fucking hilarious. Wow.
Or maybe I played the queen and because she said checkmate.
Just as likely.
Just as likely. No one knows, really.
Nope. In fact, I would argue no one knows what we're talking about. So you want me to go back to one of my games, or are we done with the segment? How much more time do you want me to burn?
I think we burnt an equitable amount of time.
Cool. I can talk about Subnautica or Yakuza next time. I mean, to be fair, I could probably do a whole podcast episode on Yakuza.
That's fair.
That game is crazy and so good.
Thank you guys for listening. We're going to take our second break soon, and we'll see you in a couple seconds your time, and I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes our time. Depends on how much of a break I want. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Friendship Dawn podcast. We are now moving on to our content copy. We are going to be copying Reddit, Am I the Asshole? I'm just going to go through titles until you find one that strikes you.
Okay.
And we can stop there. Am I the asshole for wanting to homeschool my son?
No, not interesting enough.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my sister she is lucky I'm not getting her coal for Christmas?
Yes, immediately. Yes, click on it.
Really short one.
Oh, perfect.
My sister had an affair this year and is getting divorced from her husband.
Alrighty then. The title immediately betrayed how spicy this was.
Our family obviously doesn't think what she did is right, but we aren't going to exile her. We aren't just going to exile her from the family.
That makes sense since nobody does that.
But we are all double ashamed of her for how she is already hooking up with other men. Mom had to tell her if she brings any guys home next door, then she's getting kicked out. But we aren't exactly kicking her out of the family.
My sister and I were talking recently, though, and she asked if I was going to get her a Christmas gift because she wanted to know if she would get me one. I said, "Sister, you're lucky I'm not deciding to give you coal for Christmas. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to give you a Christmas present." She got a whole attitude about this and how she's tired of everyone judging her for her failed marriage. I told her she should have thought about being the person she's been for the past couple of months, if she didn't want to be treated like this. Arguing and almost crying ensues from her until she leaves. Am I the asshole? Boy, you did a really bad job of making yourself sound like not the asshole, if that's what you're going for.
It looks like the consensus here is also 61% you're the
Wow,
asshole.
that's really high. That's so high for Are You the Asshole?
Yeah. Okay, so this is really interesting. From the perspective of this person and how they see their sister's life.
Yeah. But elaborate.
So, she's like, my sister had an affair and got divorced from her husband. Obviously, this is a bad thing. Big question marks. Why? It's a little playing your hand there, where it's like, oh, it's wrong to get divorced from your husband. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, it's wrong to have an affair.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since a lot of words are taken out of how this affair started, what's going on with the affair.
Suspiciously short.
Suspiciously short. And we're not going to just exile her from the family as if it's, like, on the table. Like, it was an option
we took a vote, and it wasn't unanimous. So we're not going to exile her from the family like someone would do
on Survivor.
On Survivor. Or,
we are all
in like 2000 BC.
We are double ashamed for her for how she was already hooking up with other men.
Not so just she's single ashamed, double ashamed.
Well, was the first ashamed the affair, or was the first ashamed the divorce?
No, one ashame is not enough. You need two ashamed for one.
No. The second ashame is that now that they're either getting in the process of divorcing or already divorced, she's going on dates with new prospective romantic partners.
God forbid.
How dare she? She hasn't submitted her homework yet.
Listen.
In the best case scenario.
Yes. Listen. Probably sucks for that other dude.
For her husband?
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this.
We only have the information that this person has given us. Could we argue that she's in contempt of court? Probably.
Yeah.
She definitely fails, like, the info part of this.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. So, the husband is obviously a part of this and is a part of getting the divorce, right?
That would be wild if he wasn't.
Yeah, and it's not like divorces come out of literally the fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like they were wandering through the mist one day and then divorce jumped out of the bushes. It's just, and now everyone's got egg on their face.
Well, and again, this might be psychoanalyzing it a bit.
Yeah.
But it feels like the OP is trying to make it sound like her sister is a manipulative bitch who goes around marrying people and then having affairs and then divorcing.
Okay, I don't think that's fair, because the OP did not say something like her first husband or her, because if you add that nominal word there where it's like her exeth husband, like that does a lot of that work that you're talking about.
I suppose you're right.
I don't think she's thinking like that. She's just like, here's what I'm thinking. So the family thought that the husband was like a good dude and this or that, and then now like the sister's just like, yeah, I'm done with this. This guy's not for me. We married too early, right? And then the family's like, but he's so good. He's a good dude. He makes like $40K a year. Like, what? You're just gonna give up all that just because you're not feeling it as much? And then the sister's like, yeah, I hate him.
Yeah. Maybe even not like I hate him.
Yeah.
But just like,
Yeah,
there's nothing there anymore.
There's nothing there anymore. I don't want to be a
permanently with this man.
Yeah. Right. Now, is the affair bad? Almost assuredly, yes. Like 80 to 90%, that's her fault. Bad on her. I would not be like judging her, like thinking about how we're not gonna exile her from the family just yet because of her affair.
Yeah.
But like,
she's on thin ice from exhalation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which is traditionally reserved for things that can't be undone.
I mean, I guess technically you can't undo an affair.
I mean, yeah, but like, I just mean like, you can't like undo exiling somebody.
Yeah. Like
that's like your last resort.
Yeah.
Other than, or I guess second to last resort. Sorry. I was thinking in like Magic the Gathering terms, is like exiling a creature is like the worst thing you can do to a creature. So yeah. I guess it's sort of opposite in real life.
Yeah, fair.
And then just like
so
the ultimate shower comeback, like she curated how good this would sound if you said it to a villain of like a soap opera.
Yeah,
it was just like, this is the moment where the main character of the soap opera tells it how it is.
We haven't even unpacked that part yet.
You're right.
I'm still on like, they're looking down on the sisters so much for literally just like bad relationship.
Yep.
Like bad relationship with husband. And it's like, we don't know if they were dating for like 2 weeks and then they got married. Like,
yeah, because that would make her look bad.
What's the life expectancy on this husband? Like,
oh, well, that's a different question. Oh, man. I don't know, man.
Anyways. It's just so, like, the way that she looks at her sister's romance right now is, in essence, the problem here. Right?
Definitely.
But moving on to, my sister and I were talking recently, and she was like, hey, are we doing Christmas gifts for each other? And then I was like, I might just get you coal because you fucked someone other than your husband. Yeah.
You are functionally dead to me. How dare you bring this question up to me?
Well, why would I ever buy you a Christmas present? You divorced your husband.
That's basically murder.
Heavy carrot energy. Oh, this reminds me of when I got to the mechanics earlier today.
I didn't hear the last, and I don't think the microphone either heard the last words that you said. This reminded you of...
This reminded me of when I got to the mechanics earlier today.
Oh.
Yeah. Whole story, probably should have mentioned a mechanical mishaps section, but like surprise section, you know?
Sure.
I get to the mechanic at like 9 or whatever. This is all a
surprise to me anyways.
Right? Last week, they told me I needed to fix my encoder motor and to come back this week. I come back this week. Literally the dude who told me I needed to come back today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, yeah, this is my name. This is the make and model of my car. And then here's the problem. And he's like, oh, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, yeah, you told me to come back today.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh, okay. Did we give you a quote for that? And I was like, no, you didn't give me. You didn't do anything to my car. Like you didn't do the thing I asked to my car last week. I don't want to get it done now.
Yes.
And then he was like, oh, yeah, this is a little weird. Cool. Anyways, so he's like, we got it. We'll work on it. And I'm sitting in the lobby waiting for Nick to come pick me up.
Hmm.
And then, this girl walks in. I'm looking at my phone, avoiding eye contact. I don't care. There's like 4 seats in here. She walks in. She's like, yeah, my car just doesn't work at all. And XYZ. And then the person's like, oh, okay. Can you tell me what the problem with the car is? And she's like, oh, I think it doesn't, like, the energy just doesn't do any of the things. And she's like, oh, so like, can you
Wait.
explain the problem a little bit more to me?
Is that actually what she said? The energy doesn't do any of the things?
It was something along the lines of like, every time I try and start up the car, all of the energy drains out and it doesn't. Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's hilarious. I just really need to know if she actually used the word energy.
Yeah. She might have said power, but.
She definitely said power. She did not say energy like a robot.
Anyways, she's like all the power keeps draining out, and then like she's being really esoteric with the problem, and then she's like, okay, can you tell me what the problem with the like? Can you tell me what your experience is, so that I can better understand what's happening with the vehicle? And then she's like, but every time I start up the car, all the lights turn on, and then it all turns off and shuts off, like it's not gonna go. And then she's like, okay, thank you. Do you have a phone number or key and all? And and then like, she's like, okay, we can't fix it today. Is it gonna be all right if you just leave it here, and then we'll get to it on Tuesday when we open back up because of the holidays. And then she's like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, it's all right if you like leave it here over the weekend. Because we're closed tomorrow for Christmas, and we're closed on Monday for Christmas too, and it explains the situation to her, and she's like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, like, if you're just gonna tell me to like leave my vehicle here, like, you just need to tell me that. You don't need to be like so cryptic about it." And then she's like, "Oh yeah," takes the key and stuff and walks back into the void, right? Yeah. And then this woman just starts complaining, like, aloud, like, wow, her customer service was so bad. She was like one of the worst customer service I've ever had. And she like pulls out her phone and like beep boop 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 boop. And she's like, hey, yeah, I'm at your store, and then like name of employee was like was like really short with me and was like really rude, and then like I'm just sitting there like tapping on my phone, and then like I can hear the person on the other end of the line too because they've turned on the speaker for some reason, and they're like, "Oh yeah,"
because they want the other person who just walked back to know that they're on the phone with their manager.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh yeah, I've told them that before, blah blah blah, all this stuff," and then she like hangs up the phone, and then she like turns in my direction. And
no,
you can tell,
God, no.
I'm still clicking on my phone, and this is just doing.
Yep, turning your phone on and off, swiping through screens.
I got my headphones on.
Oh yeah. Ooh, ultimate defense. Ultimate. You can't talk to me. I'm absorbed in what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then she's like, it's really bad to be rude to someone if they have your boss on speed dial. Then I'm like, click, clack, click,
you
click,
shook
click.
your head? No! You responded, you fool!
and then she's like, her customer service is like so bad, don't you agree? And so and then Nick's like, I'm here, and I'm like, bye. And they're like, just leave.
Yeah.
Immediate fucking conversational ripcord that bit. Like, if I could have like pulled a cord and then flung through the window to get land like next to Nick's car, I would have fucking done it, man.
Yeah.
Like anything to avoid
get out. Oh yeah,
absolutely
anything to get out of the situation. What a nightmare.
Anyways, we're reaching the friendship dusk part of the podcast. I'll explain more of my mechanical mishaps next week.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you next time.
Yeah. Oh no, closing thought?
Or do you have a closing thought?
Let's see.
I can delve deeper into my mechanical mishap.
No. We have to save that for the cliffhanger.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I won my first cube draft of since we've done the new format. We've been setting up the cards in it. It's like a grid draft. I don't know.
Rochester.
Rochester. Dang it. Sorry. In my head, it's like a grid.
It's not a grid. The grid one is where you take the lines and columns.
You're right. I should definitely associate the lines.
Yeah.
But it's just like Rochester isn't a word I'm familiar with, so it's hard for me to.
That's fair. Have a good night, everyone.